In just released FBI documents, Oklahoma City bombing co-conspirator Terry Nichols says there was somebody else helping Timothy McVeigh.
But he won't say who it is. Eyewitness News 5's Amanda Guerra has the new details.
Sheriff's up. Here he comes. Mr. McVeigh! Mr. McVeigh!
They are the faces now engraved in the minds of Oklahomans. Two men who caused such anger and heartache. But nearly 16 years later, the question remains, is there a third? This man, a John Doe number 2.
Well, clearly there is a John Doe number 2.
Stephen Jones is another man Oklahomans know all too well. He was Timothy McVeigh's attorney.
I think the principal reason that they went public and said there was no John Doe 2 was simply they couldn't identify him at that time. I don't know that they've ever identified him.
The idea of a John Doe number 2 stems from Elliott's Body Shop in Kansas. Investigators say it was here Timothy McVeigh rented the Ryder truck used to hold the explosives. Employees thought McVeigh wasn't alone. Jones says McVeigh told him the same thing.
If you take Tim McVeigh's words at face value and you take the words of the other 3 employees at Elliott's Body Shop, there is another person present.
And in these just released court documents from his jail cell, Terry Nichols is backing the story. In a 2005 interview, Nichols said, quote, clearly someone else was involved in renting the Ryder truck, that he knew the identity of John Doe number 2, but refused to reveal it. Nichols told investigators, quote, he feared for his and his family's well-being.
With regard to Terry Nichols, it's in his interest to keep this stirred up.
Bob Ricks is now the chief of police in Edmond, but back up 16 years, Ricks was an FBI agent and one of the lead investigators in the bombing.
I believe there was not a John Doe number 2.
Ricks says the person matching this sketch was eventually identified.
John Doe number 2 was just a military individual that was in there with a friend renting a Ryder truck.
He argues no matter what skeptics say, Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols are the main 2 people responsible for the bombing, one of whom is now dead, the other spending his life in prison.
The principal characters who have gone through 2 separate trials and the appeals have gone all the way to the Supreme Court affirming those decisions, we believe have been identified and prosecuted.
Amanda Guerra, Eyewitness News 5.